Did you know that Bhutan is the only country in the world that measures its success not by gross domestic product but by gross national happiness? Yes, you heard that right. While the rest of the world is chasing economic growth, this tiny Himalayan kingdom is pursuing a unique concept: gross national happiness. Now, what exactly is gross national happiness? It's a philosophy that guides the Bhutanese government's policy decisions. It prioritizes the spiritual, physical, and mental well-being of its citizens and environment over material wealth. It's not about how much money the country makes, but how happy its people are. Picture this: a government that measures success by the smiles on its people's faces, the strength of their spiritual well-being, the health of their bodies, and the balance of their minds. Sounds like a utopia, doesn't it? But this is precisely what Bhutan is all about. The Bhutanese believe that true development takes place when material and spiritual development occur side by side, complementing and reinforcing each other. This philosophy shapes the nation's approach to governance and development, setting it apart from the rest of the world. Bhutan's focus on happiness extends to its environmental policies as well. It's one of the few countries that absorb more carbon than it produces, thanks to its vast forests. The government has also set aside more than half of its land for national parks, wildlife reserves, and protected areas. All these measures contribute to the Gross National Happiness Index, making Bhutan a model for sustainable development. But it doesn't stop there. The Bhutanese education system also incorporates gross national happiness into its curriculum. Schools teach kids about the importance of emotional balance and inner peace, along with traditional subjects like math and science. The aim is to produce not just knowledgeable but also well-rounded individuals who contribute to the society's happiness. So, in Bhutan, happiness is not just a feeling, it's a national goal. A goal that's woven into the fabric of its society, shaping its policies and defining its identity. As we continue our journey through this fascinating country, let's keep this unusual concept in mind. After all, isn't happiness what we're all ultimately striving for? How would you feel if you couldn't watch your favorite TV shows? Well, in Bhutan, television was banned until 1999. Can you imagine a life without the daily dose of sitcoms, reality shows, or the gripping thrillers? For many of us, that seems like an alien concept. But for the people of Bhutan, it was a reality until the close of the 20th century. Bhutan, the land of the thunder dragon, nestled in the Himalayas, had its own reasons for this late introduction of television. The Bhutanese government had a strong desire to safeguard the country's rich cultural heritage and unique identity. They believed that by keeping the floodgates of television and internet closed, they could shield their society from the onslaught of foreign influences. In a world where countries were racing towards technological advancement, Bhutan chose a different path. A path of cultural preservation, of maintaining the sanctity of their traditions, and of preventing the erosion of their unique societal fabric. The ban on television was lifted in 1999, making Bhutan one of the last countries in the world to introduce this medium. The decision wasn't taken lightly. There were debates, discussions, and deliberations. The government understood the role of technology in the globalized world, yet they wanted to ensure that the introduction of television did not disrupt the country's way of life. The late introduction of television in Bhutan might seem shocking to many of us who have grown up with the flickering screen as a constant companion. But for the Bhutanese, it was a testament to their country's commitment to preserving its unique identity. The lifting of the ban marked a significant shift in Bhutan's media landscape. It signaled the country's cautious embrace of modern technology, while still holding on to their cultural roots. It was a delicate balance, a dance between the old and the new, the traditional and the contemporary. So while the rest of the world was preparing for the new millennium, Bhutan was just welcoming the age of television. Imagine living in a country where the sale of tobacco is completely banned. That's right, Bhutan is the only country in the world where it's illegal to sell tobacco. In the land of the thunder dragon, the scent of incense and juniper fills the air, but you won't catch a whiff of tobacco smoke. Bhutan's commitment towards a smoke-free nation is not a mere aspiration, but a legal reality. The country's strict anti-tobacco laws are a testament to its dedication to preserving the health and well-being of its citizens. Enacted in 2005, Bhutan's Tobacco Control Act bans the cultivation, harvesting, production and sale of tobacco and tobacco products in the country. But the law doesn't stop there. It extends to prohibitions on advertising and sponsorships by tobacco companies. Indeed, the country doesn't just discourage the use of tobacco, it actively fights against it. But what happens if you're caught smuggling tobacco into the country? Well, Bhutan's government doesn't take kindly to that. Penalties can range from fines to imprisonment. In 2011, a monk was sentenced to 3 years in prison for possessing just under half a kilogram of chewing tobacco. A sobering reminder that Bhutan means business when it comes to its anti-tobacco laws. Yet despite these stringent rules, Bhutan's approach is not about punishment, but about promoting a healthier lifestyle. The government offers free counseling and treatment to help smokers quit, showing a compassionate approach to tackling tobacco addiction. Bhutan's smoke-free stance is a remarkable feat, one that sets it apart on the global stage. It's a country that values the health of its people over profit, a place where the air is as clean as the intentions of its leaders. So if you're a smoker planning to visit Bhutan, be prepared to give up your habit. Not just because it's the law, but because in Bhutan, every breath you take is a step towards a healthier, happier life. Before we continue, can I beg a little favor? If you're liking what you're hearing, show us some love by pressing that like button. And hey, if you want to be in the loop for our fantastic upcoming videos, make sure to press subscribe and ring that bell so you're always in the know. Oh, and one more thing, drop a quick "I subscribe" down in the comments and I'll make sure to offer you a warm welcome to our amazing family. Alright, enough of that, let's keep the conversation flowing. You might be familiar with the term carbon footprint, but have you ever heard of a carbon negative country? Bhutan is the world's first and only carbon negative country. Nestled in the eastern Himalayas, Bhutan, the land of the thunder dragon, is not just a beautiful, serene kingdom. It is an environmental champion, a green jewel on the planet. Bhutan's commitment to preserving its environment is unprecedented. The country's constitution mandates that a minimum of 60% of its land must remain under forest cover at all times. With its lush forests covering over 70% of the country presently, Bhutan absorbs more carbon dioxide than it emits, making it the world's only carbon-negative country. But Bhutan's journey to carbon negativity is not only about maintaining forests. It's a holistic approach that integrates the environment into every aspect of life. The country's environmental policies are guided by a unique philosophy of gross national happiness, which places the environment and sustainable living at the heart of the nation's development strategy. Bhutan's commitment to being carbon neutral is not just a promise, it's a practice that every citizen of Bhutan is a part of. From banning plastic bags over 2 decades ago to implementing sustainable farming practices, Bhutan is a living example of how a nation can thrive while respecting and preserving nature, and it doesn't stop there. Bhutan is also aiming to go zero waste by 2030 and become the world's first fully organic nation. The country's hydropower plants produce a surplus of clean energy, much of which is exported to neighboring countries. Bhutan's efforts in preserving its forests, its commitment to sustainable and organic farming, and its drive to promote clean renewable energy all contribute to its carbon-negative status. It is a testament to the fact that economic progress need not come at the cost of the environment. So in Bhutan, they don't just talk about saving the environment, they actually do it. You might know Bhutan as the land of the thunder dragon, but do you know why? Well, it's a tale that's steeped in mythology and tradition, as rich and vibrant as the country itself. Bhutan's nickname, the Land of the Thunder Dragon, isn't just a fanciful title. It's a nod to the country's deep cultural roots and the significance of the dragon in Bhutanese mythology. The dragon, or Druk, is a pervasive symbol in Bhutan, found on everything from the national flag to architectural motifs. It's a symbol of authority, strength, and protection, believed to bring good fortune and ward off evil spirits. But why the thunder? You see, in Bhutan, thunder isn't just a meteorological phenomenon, it's a cultural belief, a manifestation of the dragons that are said to inhabit the high Himalayan peaks. The Bhutanese believe that the roaring thunderstorms that frequently roll across the mountains are the voices of these mighty dragons, echoing through the valleys and over the hills. The dragon's influence extends beyond mythology into the very fabric of Bhutanese society. The country's official name, Druk Yul, translates to Land of the Thunder Dragon. Its leaders, known as the Druk Gyalpo, are the Dragon Kings. Even the people of Bhutan, the Drukpa, are the dragon people. The dragon, with its thunderous voice, is more than just a symbol in Bhutan. It's a part of the country's identity, its heritage and its soul. It's in the thunderous echoes that reverberate through the mountains, the dragon motifs that adorn the monasteries, and in the hearts of the Bhutanese people. So, when you think of Bhutan, remember this: it's not just a country, it's a land of mythology, of dragons and thunder, of vibrant culture and deep-rooted tradition. It's a place where the roar of a dragon isn't just a story, but a part of life itself. So, the next time you hear a thunderstorm, remember it might just be a dragon roaring in Bhutan.